Christmas? What is the best part about Christmas? That's right. Where the fuck are my presents?
I'm your present.
I don't want you. I want a ballerina Barbie.
Hello, can anybody hear me out there? I got this large ruin blocking my view, so I can't really see everybody. Let's go. It's time to celebrate Christmas. Oh, you want to keep this forever and ever, don't you? Well, you're my little Christmas cookie, and I'm going to give you a little bit of sugar right there. And then for you, oh, sorry, you're sugar-free. Nobody likes sugar-free cookies. We're gonna throw you away in the trash later on after everybody leaves. The dog won't even eat it.
Welcome, my brothers and sisters, to the Church of the Moth.
Master, the baby is coming.
Your baby is never coming. Shall go to the Scottsdale Valley. No!
You give her a photo of halftime, Tommy?
Hello, everybody. The doctor's in the house, and this episode is going to be a good one. And yeah, what we're doing now, up until we lead to the point of Fairtown coming out, you'll see this trailer. I know people are going to be sick of it, but it's what we do. And we're also going to debut. You guys have seen it, but you haven't seen me holding one. But the official movie posters for Fairtown are going to be shown on the screen, and at 10 o'clock tonight we have a video releasing on this YouTube channel on how you can win one. It's easy, it's stupid, it's whatever, you know, but we're giving them away. They're 11 by 17, and we're giving them away free. It's a promotional item for people to get hyped up about our movie, and I'm still tweaking little pieces here and there, but still. But if you're new here, click subscribe, click that like button, and make sure if you're looking at the screen, you look over. It would be my right, your left, depending upon how you look at the screen. But there's a chat. By all means, join in. And there's another topic that I want to talk about, was the video that we released the other day about our coaster enthusiasts ruining the hobby. I'm going to get into that after we talk about the Six Flags New England meeting stuff that a lot of people want to watch. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let the crowd just build a little bit. We're going to get through the news, any topics that people bring up. Let's just build up the crowd. If everybody could do me a favor, is just share this out on Twitter or Facebook. Let's try and get a ton of people in. There's only a few tidbits of news, and then there's a lot to cover about the Six Flags New England stuff. I'm going to talk about the stuff that I can actually talk about. There are a few things they told me not to talk about. There's a couple things in the works that working behind the scenes that I'm not allowed to talk about. So, unfortunately, there's a few items I can't talk about. Nothing major. It's a lot of stuff we know, but we can't officially talk about, didn't get answers to, and whatever. But out of this, I forgot what day it is. I'll have to check. I already made the video, and it's going to have to do... Remember this when we get to it, but food. Just remember food at Six Flags New England. I'm going to briefly talk about it. It's more in depth on the video that's coming out because Jen McGrath wants everybody's help on this. So remember, when I talk about food, this is where you guys come in, because you guys actually get a say, and you guys actually mean something to the park. So remember when I talk about food in a little bit. Just remember the food, and we'll get into it. Let me find my notes here. I have paper everywhere, and I laugh. Like, I talked to AJ after, and I said, look, I said, we're gonna, I said, there's a bunch of stuff, and I told, like, Kyle and Sarah and Luco some of the stuff that I remembered offhand, but I have, like, I printed out all these questions, and there's, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's notes, from what they said, notes. I mean, we talked about, like, wedding stuff, and some other cool stuff, and then I started writing down some stuff on this paper, and there's a lot of stuff. Some stuff I forgot to write down, but I remember, and yeah, so it's definitely gonna be. This is gonna be a fun show. Hey, what's up, Shane? What's up, John? What's up, Charles? What's up, Elizabeth? What's up, Angelic Badillo? Six Flags. So I take it you're from Six Flags, Mexico area. I take it. And that's pretty cool, if that's really what it is. I saw the new Avengers Endgame trailer, and I gotta say, I was not pumped about it. That is part of this. I talked about that, about the event, Isabel, about can Jen help set up an event for Six Flags? That was actually something that came up in the conversation, so we'll get to that. There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tidbits of news, and they should go by pretty quick. I know, bear with me, but if everybody that's watching can hit that share button and get people in, because I know people are going to, every time I start talking about, like, the really stuff that already came, if I talk about it too early, people miss it, and then we have to, like, start talking about it. I don't mind talking about it again, but then some people kind of like, oh, you missed it, and I'm trying to, especially, like, when I talked about that, a coaster enthusiast ruining the hobby kind of thing, it's not that, but, some people have messaged me and was like, "Ah, you're an idiot," and it proves my point. So, and why might you ask? Look, I'm a huge Avengers fan, John. I was hoping for a bit more. Like, realistically, they don't even have to show a trailer. Probably 90%. I would say just about everybody that watched the last Avengers: Infinity War is just going to see it. They're going to want to see what happens after the finger snap. I don't know, if you remember Infinity War, right? How many of you remember that movie that have seen it? I don't know how many of you have seen it, but like when they show the trailers, like the battle on Wakanda, and they were showing everybody running across the field battling, and it was just crazy. You know there's going to be crazy stuff going on, and they're not really showing anything crazy. I know they're trying to hit you with that emotional thing, and it's just not working. It's kind of like I didn't want to. Like, when I watched the trailers for Captain Marvel, I know a lot of people love it. My kids and my dad and Luco went to go see that, and I'm like, eh. It has nothing to do with the controversies going on. When I watched it, I'm like, I don't care about the cat. I don't care about the character. I'm not a huge comic book fan. I'll buy the DVD because the kids are gonna want to watch the movie. Well, like, Jeremy loves when I buy the DVDs and he takes the code and he downloads the movies. So he's gonna want me to buy Captain Marvel, and then that's when I'll sit at home and I'll watch it. That's just what I'm going to do. Infinity War and Star Wars, I'm definitely going to go to the theater and watch. And I'm sure I should probably go to see Captain Marvel in the theater. It's always better to watch a movie in the theater than it is at home. Unless you're like a billionaire, you don't have a TV the size of a movie theater in your house. Or unless, like, you just work to have that TV in your house, that kind of screen, and you don't have anything else. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's get through this news, and then we'll talk about it. And then, what do you call it? If there's something that I missed, because I will open it for questions, because one thing before we get into the news, Jen said that if there was something that was not answered, by all means, like if somebody thinks of something that we didn't discuss and talk about, then let me know, and then I will make another round of, I'm going to make a video about it, or a post or something. I'm probably, Yep, there is Media Day info for Cyborg. That's in the stuff. There's Media Day info. There's all kinds of Cyborg information. There's all food. There's all kinds of stuff. So it's great. So I'm just going to get through all this news so we can get to the meat and potatoes that everybody's here for. I don't think anybody cares about this other news, but I figured this other news was probably worth mentioning, especially with people planning trips, and I want everybody to have this information. So Walt Disney World, surprisingly this time, quietly did the ticket. You know, every year they up their prices of tickets. So again. And the tickets are just getting more expensive, but I know it's getting in preparation for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And I do know, speaking of Galaxy's Edge, that when they do that Star Wars celebration coming up soon, that what do you call it? They're gonna have a bunch of info on that about the park, for the rides and the land and all that. So hopefully we find more information about that. Now, this is the pricing now for the tickets, because I know I'm going to Disney and other people are going to Disney this year and so forth. So a peak ticket, which is basically like Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve, is now $159. $30 a day increase. It's the steepest price. It's been the steepest price hike ever. For other insanely busy times, including Easter, Memorial Day, and from mid-December to Christmas Eve, the new ticket price is $139. The price is a $10 increase. From November 4th to November 7th, the same ticket is $125, up from $114. From December 2nd to December 5th, a one-day park pass runs $117, a $3 increase, and then a one-day, one-park price remains unchanged at $109 during what Disney calls the value season, from late January to early February and late August and September. So those are the times that are the value season, and that's when the cheapest time to go is, I guess. There's also this article, I forgot where, I think it was like allears.net or something like that. Disney put out a video in October to help explain how you can use variable pricing to find the best prices for anyone who has flexibility in their vacation dates. So, yeah, so that's it. The standard parking costs are unchanged. That price went up in October. Preferred parking is $45 most of the year. It's actually a $5 drop back from pre-October prices. Preferred parking stays at $50 for peak season. Again, that price was set in October. It is, and you know what's the messed up thing about it, John, about that $200 plus? People are willing to pay it. People are, the problem is if they went cheaper, they would never, what do you call it? You would never ride anything. It would just be bumper to bumper traffic of people everywhere you went. That's why. It's all about supply and demand. If it got to a point where it was too high and everybody stopped going, then they would lower the prices to get people back in. That's how it works. Yeah. But then you got to think about it. If you can actually, and I've gone to days where it wasn't as busy as other days, and I've gone to days that was ridiculous. But with that being said, the experience that you get with all the attractions, shows, and parades and everything is far beyond any Six Flags or Cedar Fair that you'll ever see. So, yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's crazy. And they can do it. Yeah, if you get an annual pass. See, Kyle knows. If you get an annual pass at Disney, it's worth it. So, anyway, so Storyland, June 21st. This was just started posting yesterday. June 21st. It's going to be an adult-only night. So, if you want to go up to New Hampshire, they're trying to do like a nostalgic night. It's adults only. No kids allowed. And it said, hope guests will recreate old family photos taken at the park, even if it encourages retro attire. General Manager Eric, what I can't pronounce his last name, says the park's been talking about creating an event like this for years. The park says special appearance will be made by the original Storyland Pumpkin Coach in its very first ride, Freddy the Fire Truck. So, and Kyle, speaking on that, even if you don't live in Orlando, myself and Luco have been contemplating buying season passes to Disney, and how we can get that done. Anyway, so the tickets for this Storyland thing goes on sale on Friday, if you're interested in it. I'm kind of intrigued and interested to go to Storyland with no kids. I have to leave my kids home. How awesome is that? I'm being told by the park to leave the kids at home. That's awesome. All right, so speaking of Disney, starting on Wednesday, March 20th, is technically, I guess, when officially the Fox-Disney merger starts. No, I can't take that phone call. Sorry, dude. I cannot take a work call during the show. Sorry. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of stuff. You know, and so for those excited about the Disney-Fox merger, it's happening next week. Universal Orlando, there's a crazy lawsuit. 11-year-old Brazilian boy had his foot crushed on the ET ride. Port says that as getting off the ride, the boy's foot got crushed between the ride and the cement platform. His shoe fell off and crushed his foot, causing multiple bones to break. Family is seeking $15,000 in damages. That's unfortunate. I don't, you know, most likely they're just going to give him the $15,000, make him go away. That's probably what's going to happen. The hotels, though, if you stay at the hotels at Universal now, they put those RFID chips inside the paper cups at the hotels, and you get 2 hours of drinking time, and then it says a robot voice will tell you tough crap or whatever, that your time is up. Speaking of Universal, Islands of Adventure, Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Coaster info came out with... yeah, that's all they wanted for the I guess they're just seeking what it costs at the hospital visit or whatever, which is weird because usually people want more money than that. They're like, I want millions of dollars, I want millions and millions, but they just want $15,000. That's crazy. I had to double take that when I seen it. I was like, $15,000, that's it. It was crazy. Anyway, so there's a video online. I'm not going to play it. It's like almost 5 minutes long. Has one of the actors from Harry Potter. It also has the guy that was like the set designer from the movies and helping with the attractions. And they were talking about like the different creatures and that the ride goes back and forth around 50 miles an hour. The opening date is June 13th. So if you want to go, and you know they're trying to do that to hit that for, you know, trying to get there because of Star Wars Land, trying anything they can to try to take it away from Disney. This is going to be a good battle of the parks to see which one becomes more popular. Is it going to be Star Wars or is it going to be Harry Potter? That is going to be interesting. I don't know what anybody thinks, but that's what I think. I think Star Wars is going to be more popular. But I know there's a bunch of those Harry Potter nerds out there that love anything and all to do with Harry Potter. I mean, we've seen what had happened every time that Universal opened a Harry Potter attraction. It was crazy, crazy popular, long lines. So they're probably going to have long lines for this, as well as Star Wars is going to have long lines for this. So we'll see. Quasi's doing a rehab on the kiddie coaster. I saw that Russ sent an email out showing some pictures of it. And, you know, it's a kiddie coaster, and I'm glad they're taking care of it, but still. Star Wars, well, remember this, Kyle. When it opened, what is it, August 29th is the opening for Orlando? That, and I believe also the same thing with Disneyland, that Rise of the Resistance ride is not opening with Galaxy's Edge. That is opening up later in the year. So remember that. Like, if you watch that trailer with the announcement dates, look when it gives the dates and look on the bottom in the fine print. Only Millennium Falcon is opening for the ride. So that's really going to cause pure pandemonium to get in there. I can't wait to see the reports when these rides open. I'm just going to laugh at all the people running down there to get in there. That's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on. Anyway, so is this the last piece of news? Oh, no, 2 more pieces of news. All right, so Six Flags for 2020. I'm sure a lot of people know this. If not, and you're hearing this for the first time, crazy. I'm a little bit upset about it, but hey, it is what it is. Jim Reed Anderson, CEO of Six Flags is stepping down at the end of February, and they're currently looking for a CEO. People were like, why don't you do it? I'm like, they would never hire me. I don't have the qualifications. I mean, yes, I run my own company, and it's pretty damn successful, but it's a totally different thing. Yeah. See, I agree, Shane, and I said that the last time we talked about this. Shane says, I feel like since it's the fine print, a lot of guests who didn't do their research are going to go to guest relations about Rise of the Resistance. Totally agree. That is going to be a total crap fest because everybody that doesn't realize that, didn't pay attention, or are going to be looking for some way to get something out of it. Well, I didn't see that. It was there in small print. I mean, I caught it. I don't know how many people caught it right away, but I caught that and I went, oh my God. And I talked about it the day that we had the Grow Show on that announcement day with the trailer, and we played the trailer, and I said, when you watch the trailer, when you look for the announcement, look at the small print, and it said it. That is gonna really upset people. That's why I try to if people start talking about Star Wars, I try to make sure that the information gets out. Because I don't want to see anybody I know get upset about it because they didn't know because they didn't pay attention. I mean, it's so small print, and it flies by so fast. It really does. It's like poof, gone. And people don't realize that. And I caught it right away after the first viewing, and I was like, whoa, this is bad. I don't know. I mean, they're saying this is the most technologically advanced ride that's coming out ever, and it's not going to be open with the rest of it. And that's why I said they should have never opened it until the ride was ready. But we know with the shareholders, they want their money now. They want to see profits. They want that thing open. They don't care that the other ride isn't open. That's what they want. Yeah, crying kids, angry nerds galore. I mean, if I didn't pay attention and I went, I would be pissed. Because around October, in the beginning of October, I'm going to Disney. And I know going ahead of time that one of the rides will not be open. I mean, it could be open, but I doubt it. So I know that I'm going to be waiting a very long time for no apparent reason. That's the first ride that I'm going to that day if we go to that park, and then I'll go ride everything else. So we need to make sure that all the people running, we trip them, make them fall, make them having to go to first aid so we can get there. That's what's going to happen. Now, the last bit of news I got is very sad news. I don't know how many of you people know this, but there's there is a happy outcome on this. I've gotten updates since I wrote this. I don't know if it's because it's not ready or because of crowd. No matter what, it's going to be crazy crowds. Like, people are coming because it opens. It's going to be, it's going to be a crap fest like Harry Potter. And I mean, when I go, I'm going to, yeah, I totally, I mean, I agree that, it's the weirdest thing. I mean, I can buy that, whatever that is. Lindsay Entertainment says, it's a first of its kind. I think Rise of the Resistance and CIA will be open, ready for D23. And what is that, August or something like that? I forget when they do that. And then Kyle says, I thought they wanted people to see the land first and come back later for the ride. And then Shane says, from a marketing perspective, it's genius. Get the people in for the grand opening, then get them to come back because they need to experience the whole land. I agree with all these statements because it can go either way. I mean, I don't know for a fact if the ride's done or not. I think it would be stupid. I mean, again, with Shane's comment, I could see that. That's a genius way to do it. Kyle's, it's pretty much the same thing. More than one ride would help, not hurt crowds. Well, not hurt the crowds, but it's going to make... Think about it. When you're telling... The land is set for a certain amount of capacity to be able to walk through rides, etc. And they know. They know when... what do you call it? They know how many people can fit entirely between the queue lines, the rides, walking around. They know what that capacity is. They know. So... And it's crazy that You know, like this is just crazy. Like you just cut out some of the capacity of that park because you don't have Rise of the Resistance. Yeah, the capacity is going to be an issue, Luco, for the Hollywood Studios, Galaxy's Edge. I don't know what's going to happen or not going to happen or whatever. So that's to be seen. It's going to be crazy. Like, it's going to be terrifying, I think. Yeah, Disney Fast Pass service is unavailable for the attractions and stuff. Yeah, it's just, you're going to wait. There's no skipping the line. I mean, unless you're in a wheelchair or have a handicap, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a handicap pass, then you won't get on right away. You'll just be given the time to come back. They'll be like, come back tomorrow and ride it or something, you know? However that's going to play out, I don't know. And, I mean, the anticipation is crazy. The excitement is crazy. And I don't know. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds, to be truthfully honest. All right, so this last tidbit of news is somewhat sad, but has a happy ending. I don't know how many of you know Cliff Sales. You know, him and his son and his wife, they've been in videos with us. They're actually going to be in the Fairtown, what do you call it, Extreme Fears movie. Well, I got a message from his wife this morning saying that at that moment when she messaged me that he was in surgery having bypass surgery. So basically on Tuesday, he felt numb in his arm, pain in his back, pain in his chest. I don't know if he was at work or home, whatever they call it. Told him to call 911. He called 911. And the funny thing about all that is the first thing he was telling doctors and stuff was, and he was trying to push off the surgery was, how, what do you call it? What about the roller coasters? I don't want it to interfere with my roller coasters. So, well, they convinced him to get that done because he probably could have died if he didn't, because he ended up having quadruple bypass surgery. He was done by 2 o'clock. His wife said that he was okay, and she went to go see him. So far, so good. He's doing okay. I'll find out more later from her, you know, how he's doing. I said, make sure to let me know how he's doing. Tell him I said hi. And I told him, I said, when we do this Fairtown Watch movie, if he can, you know, if he's able to get out of the house, I said he should come to the viewing party for the movie because, well, they're in it. If they can, they should come. So she's like, all right, cool. So we'll see how that is. So that is that. And Isabel Vlog says, which is the best season to visit SFNE? Every season. Every day is the best day. Even if it's raining, even if it's snowing. Every day is the best day to go. It is. And the reason why I say that, and this is one of the things that I try to tell everybody every time about any park. Doesn't matter which one you love, which one you hate. It doesn't matter. Any day at any park is better than a day in the office. I mean, unless your office is the park. But for us regular people that don't work in theme parks or anything, every day that is not in the office and you're in an amusement park is a good day. You know, it's a day, you know, you're sitting at home bored. Going to the park is better than sitting at home bored. So any day is a good day. Any day above ground is a good day, and every day that you can get to a park, hell, even going to Chuck E. Cheese is better than sitting in the house all day, or Dave and Buster's or something. But going to a park and every, I mean, I've gone to Six Flags New England when it was crappy out, like it was, you know, raining. I've gone when I get there for opening and the park closes at 4 o'clock because of the weather. You know what? It was still an awesome day. I got to ride rides. May have gotten a little wet. May have gotten soaked. May have been miserable ride home soaked, but I still had an excellent day. So that's all that matters. It doesn't, even if it's a busy day and you can't ride much, who cares? I'm not home. I'm not in the office. It's like I've gone to Six Flags New England by myself. I know it sounds crazy and depressing and sad, but like Food and Brew, I went by myself. One, I skipped work. It was like one day I had to do it. The kids were with their mom. So I said to myself, you know what? Well, they could have been in school. I can't remember. because I think Food and Brew was like in August or something. I forgot. Regardless of whenever it was, I said I am gonna go. And you know, and I've seen this on one of the Facebook groups, one of the Costa Facebook groups. Like, do you prefer to go alone or do you prefer to go with a group? I prefer to go with a group, but once in a while, it's nice to go by yourself. So there are times I go to Six Flags New England by myself, and it's nice. I can clear my mind. I don't have the kids chirping at me. I don't have, you know, electricians or JCPenney stores or other customers that we have, TJ Maxx or whoever, calling us because the lights ain't working. I don't have anybody bothering me. I just go. I become, you know, a fat ass, and I go eat my food, and then I go ride some rides, and it's like taking a Zen day at the and just chill, just kind of, you know, it's like Caddyshack, you know, when they're doing the tournament, beat a ball, no, you know, that's be the roller coaster, no. That's just what I want to do, you know. That's why I just like having fun. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if rides break down. I don't care if a food plate. I just go and I could take the worst situation and make it the best. And that's what a lot of people, and that's part of the reason like why I made that video, like, coaster enthusiasts ruining the hobby, because all the trash talking and all the negativity around it. I may have not fully expressed my viewpoint on it, but it was the gist of it. But everything comes into play of like how awful people are. But anyway, so enough beating around the bush. Let's get into what we're all here for. You guys want it, and I got it. I feel like a drug dealer, but I'm not selling drugs. I'm selling information here. For Six Flags New England. I'll leave some of these towards the end. So one, and something that I was not able to get an answer out of was about the water park. You know, we all saw the thing about the town hall. I asked that question, and she says she doesn't know anything about it. She's playing the corporate answer. I don't know about it. Can't talk about it. I don't know what's going on. So that was a question that was not answered. I know a lot of, you know, we wanted to know about it. I wasn't on the park property. I was across the street at the office. I looked. I couldn't see any construction going on in the water park area from where I was. So I didn't see anything going on. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, that was one thing I know a lot of us wanted answered, and it didn't get answered. She said, though, when any information is available, when it's ready, she's going to let us know, because we get to break some news that the park hasn't announced yet. And that's what's going to happen. So, is there a projected opening date for CYBORG, which was one of the questions? And she says, no, but there is a media day. Did I write that down? Yes. There is a media day date, and that can change based on how things go. And what I mean by that is, we know it's a simple flat ride, and that it should just go. But you don't know. And plus the stuff that they're doing inside. And Warner Brothers is kind of holding things up a little bit, just because they've sent the artwork and all that stuff for the lighting and the effects and all the artwork for everything to Warner Brothers. And they have to approve it before it can be shown. That's why nothing's really been shown. They just say, hey, this is coming, and they did their thing, and that's it. That's all they were allowed to show, because Warner Brothers, that owns DC Comics, did not sign off yet. That's the holdup. They're waiting on Warner Brothers. She didn't show it to me. She didn't want to give me nothing in case I showed it and then it changed, and she didn't want to piss anybody off. So that was that. So she didn't give me a date for that. She gave me a date for the media day, which is May 29th, subject to change depending upon, as long as everything goes smooth and Warner Brothers gives the okay on the right amount of time. There is a height requirement, obviously, and I asked about that. and that's 48 inches to get on the ride. I asked about what kind of FX lighting, etc. for Cyborg is there going to be. She didn't get into total like this, that, and the, again because of the Warner Brothers thing. Could not share that. Could not. She goes, once Warner Brothers signs off on it, she's sending me all the stuff. So we just got to wait for Warner Brothers to, you know, dot the I's, cross the T's, and then we'll have all the FX lighting and everything we need to know and care about. What do you call it? For Cyborg. All right. Yep, we're coming to that, Isabel, about the event thing, because I asked about that. I asked about Cyborg having its own merch, of course, but I was trying to see if there was something they could show me. But again, they can't until Warner Brothers approves it. So that was another one. I was like, there will be, but I can't show it. I asked about the mobile food ordering for the app. And she doesn't have an exact date when it is going to debut. It could be opening, could not be. They're working on the app. They're trying to make sure that it works when it releases. And I flat out told her, I'm like, I expect I expect glitch, hiccups, glitches in the system. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, nothing in this world today ever runs perfectly when that happens. Nothing ever goes smooth anymore. Not even like when Windows or a new Apple iOS update or some game. Look at all the games that got bugs and crashes all the time, right? Do you think Six Flags is going to have this mobile ordering app perfect? No. Should we expect it? I mean, we want it to work, yeah, but it is what it is, I guess. So I told her, I said, not in a negative way. I said, that's just the way the world is. There's so many bugs and glitches and all this other stuff in the software. Things happen. But she says that, once they have all that information and they're pretty sure that they're opening it, they're going to give me the information on, like, when it's going to open, when you're going to be able to start doing that. What she's trying to do is not put her foot in her mouth. She doesn't want to say a date and it be wrong, and then everybody gets mad at Jen for saying it. So, smart moves. She did say that it is coming this year, just didn't know exactly the first date of it working. All right. I asked some other silly questions, like, is there a possibility of doing special collectible ornaments? Like different ones that are more to Six Flags New England than they have. Well, she's like, they have the one that's every year. I'm like, yeah, but you guys like have all these other different ones. Are they going to make like a set like each year? Like I said, crazy thing, and all that. And then she goes, I don't know, but she goes, I'll tell them. It's all these ideas. Come from people like us. All these ideas of different, if you guys like after we talk about all these questions and answers about Six Flags, then I'll say, hey, if you got any questions, I'll write them down while they come in there or after the show, whatever, and then I'll send them off to the park. So, and we'll make a post on the forums about it. Well, if it's coming in June, that's most likely when New England's getting it. I know they're working on it, testing it, and all that stuff, based on what Jen told me about the what do you call it? The app. And I agree. Smaller parks like New England should have a better handling on stuff with less capacity, but we all know it's never. What do you call it? Nothing's ever seamless anymore. If this was like 20 years ago, that thing would not even been announced until it was like they were like pretty sure it was working. Think about like all the old Windows when you had like 75 floppy disks. I didn't ask about in-park Wi-Fi, but I can ask that. Because she said, any other questions? I'll collect them and send them off, and then she'll just send me back all the answers. All right. So, the other thing that I don't know how many people went to Holiday in the park, and you guys know me. I collect all kinds of crazy stuff. You look behind me, you can see Harley Quinn. That was from the park, and I bought it. I collect all kinds of crazy collectibles. So I said with the Christmas stuff, I said, how many of you bought the teddy bear and the reindeer, the Holiday in the Park stuffed animal? I said, you guys got other ones. And she's like, I don't know. She's not the merch person. It's just so weird. Like every department, they only know their department and what they're doing. They don't know what's going on unless they're told. You know, like, oh, this is da-da-da-da-da. So she wrote down all these notes to send off to the merch people. I came up with an idea on the fly. I come up with a lot of good ideas. And let me tell you, the idea I came up with for Holiday in the Park, and you guys can let me know in the comments after I say this if you guys love this or not. She goes, well, do you have any characters in mind? I said, how about a snowman? And I said, how about your fairy there? What's her name? She goes, Sprinkles. I'm like, yeah, why don't you make one of Sprinkles and make one of the gingerbread man and make one of all the characters that you guys have, Jack Frost and the queen there with the scepter. And she was laughing. She's like, oh my God, that was awesome. She started writing down. I watched. She showed me the paper. She wrote it. She had this exact paper. She printed them out. I had printed mine out. And she just was like, she's like, oh my God, greatest thing ever. So she's going to talk to him and see if that's even a possibility. But she loved it. She thought it was great. She was like, oh my God, this is great. Like, and yeah. So that is a potential that she's looking into to see if they can get that done. Now, one thing that I asked about Cyborg was Holiday in the Park. So I said to her, I said, now you have this ride, indoor ride, Cyborg Holiday in the Park. And she answered it honestly. She said, not for 2019. She goes, probably in the future, maybe 2020, 2021. I can't confirm, deny. You know, she goes, we've been talking about how to try to expand down that way to add, you know, to keep, they want to keep expanding the entire park to have the park open. I mean, obviously not all the rides are going to be open. You can't in New England. Superman's not going to run. And, you know, I said, hey, you could have Catwoman's Whip open. You might even be able to have Gotham City Gauntlet. I said, have Cyborg. You can decorate all the lights and all this other stuff. So she says 2019, it will not be open for Holiday in the Park. Oh, Isabel, the idea I had was about for the, I don't know if you've been to Holiday in the Park. If you looked in the gift shop, in the Six Flags Emporium, the first year that they did Holiday in the Park, they had a teddy bear that said Holiday in the Park. It had like a patch on him. It said Holiday in the Park. Last year, for 2018, they had the reindeer. And if you paid attention, if anybody paid attention in any videos, any Grove shows that had the tree behind me, had what do you call? Hey, Sarah, I had the Holiday in the Park reindeer on the tree. So the idea that I had was, what do you call it? I said, why not make stuffed animals of, you know, the fairy? And then I didn't remember the name. And then Jen was like, hey, Sprinkles. And I said, yeah, the gingerbread guy and Jack Frost. I said, make stuffed animals or action figures of these people. I said, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker because of merchandise. Jen knows it. You guys know it. I'm always buying something. I make my own merch. Well, I don't physically make it. I order it. Look, this is a Hornapalooza podcast baseball jersey. It's the only one in existence right now, but we're going to make a video to see if anybody actually wants to buy them. They're cheap as hell. So we might do that with the Hornapalooza podcast. And I have some news about Hornapalooza podcast after, about some changes to it and stuff like that may or may not make people happy, but I think we might go in that direction. So I don't know. But anyway, so back to, so Cyborg, no for 2019 for Holiday in the Park, possibly 2020. She goes, I don't know yet. They've been talking about expanding to keep adding more lights, adding more areas, adding more things for that. And oh, and speaking of Holiday in the Park, do not 100% hold me to this. There is an event coming. I don't know how many went to the Fright Fest event last year in October with Ace. She said SFNE Online and Ace. Okay? Don't hold me on the SFNE Online thing because sometimes that, for some reason, gets canceled out and it's only Ace members. Don't hold me to that. Jen usually forgets sometimes, and I don't know. But if it can be for us, too, involved, I will let you guys know. It's a free event. It doesn't cost anything. But this year they're doing it for Holiday in the Park, and it's going to be behind the magic of Holiday in the Park. This is another thing, so get your fingers ready to type while I'm saying this stuff. Get it ready to type. She wants to know kind of things that you would like to see during this event. She's trying to get the... I'll make a video about it because I just like making videos more in depth about this as I think of ideas. But things that you want to see behind the scenes of Holiday in the Park. So she said to me to ask, you know, fans of SFNE Online, fans of the Grove Show, what do you want to see at this event for SFNE Online / Ace? It's a free thing. And, you know, as I know of, it's free, like it was last year, behind the scenes and whatever they do, you know, because like all the feedback that came, we talked about this last week or whatever, the feedback that they got about the Fright Fest event was awesome. It was a great event. I have no beef about it. I like it. I mean, the last year event was amazing. So they're going to do this just Holiday in the Park this year, which I'm all for. I love Holiday in the Park. It's just another cool way to have an event with Six Flags. Now, this is going to roll into something that I brought up to... Well, there was two things that I brought up with Jen. You know me, I got a big mouth, right? Everybody knows. Right? I got a big mouth. My brand of sense of humor sometimes just falls flat. Maybe I'm not as funny as I think I am. I got a big mouth and I don't care. Right? How many of you guys that have been friends with me forever know I say some harsh things? I used to say some... Ask Kyle. I used to say the craziest thing about gay people, but I've changed. Kyle knows I've changed my tune. I'm not a jerk about gay people. Like I've learned to be accepting and not an ass anymore. People have seen my growth as a person. You know, people make mistakes. Kyle knows I'm not like that kind of guy. But there are other things that I talk about that are very offensive, and sometimes my humor doesn't fall the way I like it. Right. So anyway, so. I can confirm that number one, that there is no beef between Ace and the park. I brought it up. I said, look, I said there's crazy things. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want her. The park looks at the forums all the time. They haven't seen anything. You know what I'm saying? Sarah, you used to know what I used to say back in the day. My brand of person was not the nicest when I was younger. Well, not that, you know, but people progress, people change. You know what I mean? I'm not pent up and bashing people. I love Kyle and I love you, Sarah. I love all you people. You guys have been to my parents' house. Well, I don't know if you have, Sarah. Maybe you have. I don't remember. But Kyle remembers that crazy 4th of July party, that ended up being the last party that we ever had at my parents' house. But Kyle knows, it was the craziest thing ever. Craziest party with the dunk tank and the crazy fireworks, and it was crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, I wanted Jen to know what was going on the forums before them finding out. You know what I mean? Like, I was going to take the hit from them if they were going to see it. Instead of them emailing me, they see stuff. They email me and they're like, hey, what's this? So, instead of them emailing me, I told her up front. There was that discussion about Nor'easter and all this other stuff. We didn't get into logistics and all this other stuff. You know, I didn't, like, really talk about conversations with people and stuff. I just let her know. And I said, you know, I flat out asked her. She's like, no, there's no... She goes, that's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So that can be put to rest. Jen reassured me. Trust me. And the reason why I could say she reassured me, you know what, Sarah? There was so many people at that party that it was insane. That party was insane. That was one. I mean, when I was a teenager in the early 20s, we had crazy parties. Like my parents were so pissed at the parties we used to throw. They were nuts. Like, they were like Caliber. What's that movie there with that's based off a true Project X? Not quite there, but almost there. Kind of parties. Like, my parents would wake up. My parents live on 10 acres. So they live out in the middle of the woods, out in the middle of nothing. And my parents would wake up and they would find a couple hundred people passed out all over the property. You know, people puking up against trees, empty booze bottles. There was crazy. Naked people, everything. It was just nuts. Yeah, there was a dunk tank. The last one we had a dunk tank. I remember Kyle was making out with somebody, and people were fighting, and well, not fist fighting, but having. I think it was you, wasn't it? You that with arguing with what's his name, Jeff? Wasn't that you? Wasn't that you arguing with Jeff? Or was that somebody else? I can't remember. Okay, so that was you. All right, so yeah, there was a crazy. There was people everywhere. People were everywhere. But yeah, so you can rest assured there is no beef about that. So this goes into the next thing. I said, can we ever get an event like a Costa Mania? And she didn't understand what I was talking about. And then I explained to her what Costa Mania is about. I said, Cedar Point puts on this event that's open to all coaster enthusiast clubs. I said, you know, you can have Ace, you can have Coaster Crew, you can have TPR, and any club that's a cod carrying club. That's what Cedar Point does. They limit the attendance to 1,000 people. And she goes, is it just local people, or how does it work? You know what I'm saying? So I explained to her, I said, this is what they do here, this is what they do here. And she just like, does people travel? Do they fly in? Do they drive? I'm like, if you put on an event, and I said, I can help you plan this event. I'm like, I've been to plenty of Costa Manias in the past of how it works and what they do. I said, if you listen to me, people will come. I said, you listen to me, and people will come. So we'll see. You know, because I told her, I said, it's just like it's like a Coaster Con only for a day. I said, you got ERT in the morning, ERT at night. You get the best of the coasters of the park, and that's what it is. And then you get a bunch of people, because she even said she would love to hold an El Toro type event. You know, for what do you call it? Like a riding of the bull, a Costa Mania. It's got to have the attendance, because when it comes into play, when you're looking for Six Flags is a business at the end of the day. It's a place we love. We're all enthusiasts. We're all enthusiastic. We all have our opinions, and that's great, right? We all complain. We bitch. We're happy. We're excited. We're sad. We're mad. Whatever. At the end of the day, if you want an event at Six Flags like that, you gotta attend the events. They need, like, they want to make money. They don't want to make, like, if you had, like, say 100 people made them like a couple $100. That's a waste of time. In our minds, we're like, oh, that's cool. They made a couple $100. They're trying to make a profit. So after everything that was done, they only made a couple $100. After they ran the electricity, had all the employees there and all that stuff, they only made a couple $100. They don't want that. And I told her that. I said, if you make the event and you need it to be, say, $40, $50 or $60 or whatever it is, but you're going to give this crazy event, people are going to pay the money. I said, people are going to come and people are going to go. If you don't give them the event that they want, they are not going to come. And I explained it to her in the nice possible way. I didn't get, what do you call it, sarcastic. I was just being real with her. Totally being real with her. So that's something, it may not happen this year. It might be something for next year, but it's something that I've started the conversation on. I've started the build up to it, And this is what I ask all of you. And I'm going to make a post asking about this. I'm going to do it on the forums. So if you're not a member of the forums, shame on you. But we are going to... I'm going to put out there, and I want questions of if you could make... And you could tell me here, and I'll write them down. If you were in charge of building the perfect realistic event, be realistic. Think of like riding of the bull. You know, think like riding of the bull as an example. What is the perfect event if you could build it and add a price point to it? Like if you built up this event with all this itinerary of things, what would be your itinerary and how much realistically charge? But you know, think about what you when I say realistically charge, for them that makes it worth it, and them make it worth it for people to attend. Number one, two, somewhat affordable, and three, how could they make money on this? They're going to only do it if they think they can make money. If they can't make money on it, they're not going to bother. And you're going to always have to you see, what do you call it? How do I put this? You know, the food becomes an issue because people have their food plan, but they're not going to do the event unless they can sell you food. Let's be honest. If they can't do this, if they can't add food into it, there will be no event. That's number one. Number two, they're going to be able to make sure that they pay for, what do you call it? They got to make sure they can pay the employees. They're not going to do this to lose money on. So fine. What I would like from everybody, see, look, somebody, you know, Sarah's like late August, include water park, like close off half the water park just for the event. Or close the water park early and do a nighttime, you know, like a couple hours of water park ERT, so to speak. Yeah, I mean, they've shown that they can do different food based on, I don't know how many of you went to CoasterCon in 2013 at Six Flags New England, but if they could do different kind of food like that, oh yes. Oh yes. Because remember CoasterCon too, they did shut down, you know, when they shut down the water park, they gave us an area of water park for a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, whatever it was. We had a luau, they had the fire dancing, they had food, you had water park time. It was great. It was a little chilly. I still enjoyed it, but it was still good. Just saying. I think it would be good. So keep that in mind. And when you see, I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna write Sarah's idea and Kyle's idea. I'm just gonna put SFNE event. I'll know what I'm talking about. I hope. So it's saying water park, night, ERT. Food, not on dining plan. And we're going to be talking about food in a minute. Yes, we should be the event coordinators. What we should do is come up with an event and present it to Jen. You know what I'm saying? And go, here's the event that we think will sell. It will probably cost this much. I don't know. I got to contact that guy, Michael, that's in... Kyle, I'm sure you know him. His last name, I think, begins with a C. He's in planning now, you know, for events and stuff like that. I got to contact him to get pricing for ERT for my wedding. So, yeah, that should be fun. Group Zumba in the Picnic Grove. I'm too fat for that. I wouldn't want... As I'm eating a chip, I don't want to... I don't want to do Zumba. I'll watch people do Zumba. I don't want to do it. I don't want to break a sweat at an event. Last time I broke a sweat in the park from doing exercise, I busted my knee. doing a zombie 5K. Just saying. What are the talents going to be? How much we can fart? Maybe? Because let me tell you, my farts tonight have been crazy. All right, so... All right. So I asked about new food options. All right, so I talked about this. All right. So we talked about new food, and this is where the video comes into play. I forgot when the video comes out. I'll have to look. But it's showing up. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Monday, and I forgot when. Regardless of it anyway, this is where you guys come into play. That'd be cool, doing the camp outs in the grass in the grove. I would love to do a camp out kind of thing. So what Jen wants to know is different kinds of food that you guys, because a lot of us are seasoned travelers, travel to various different parks across the globe, right? So she wants to know from everybody, all the fans of SFNEOnline, Grove Show, the forums, wherever, what type of food do you want to see that's not currently in the park at all that you want to see come to the park? So that is going to be one of the videos that comes out more in depth. So if there's something you've seen at a Disney or a different Six Flags or a Cedar Fair Park, you know, by all means, shout out the food ideas that we don't have, so on and so forth. Scavenger hunt would be cool for Kids Fest or Fright Fest during the day. Could involve the plot of Midnight Mansion into it. Yep, you could. Competition who gets the most mosquito bites. That would be good. Yeah, that Bizarro, and a matter of fact, I still have the golden ticket right here. I'm going to pop this bad boy out. I haven't touched it and looked at it in a while, but I still have it, and it's sitting right here. Back when Bizarro opened in 2009, I remember how this is the watch box. Oh, how many of you remember the Bizarro watches? Oh, you missed a lot, Mr. Sean, Mr. Theme Park New England. But how many people remember getting this golden ticket? You had to do this crazy scavenger hunt all around the park, and it was awesome. And if you completed it, you would get this. So I don't know how many, but I still have it. I just had it open. Come on. Oh, yeah, I still got the bag it came in, too. So they gave us this purple velvet bag. And then, I don't know, it says Bizarro Preview Day 2009, Golden Ticket, Six Flags. So that's what we were given for completing the scavenger hunt at Six Flags New England for when they turn Superman into Bizarro. But yeah, I still got it. I ain't ever getting rid of that thing. I would give up all my pinball machines before I would give up this thing. I think this, to me, even though I know it's not real gold, but I feel, to me, this is more valuable than any pinball machine that I have in here. And these pinball machines are a lot of money. So I feel that, to me, that's more valuable than anything that I own. But you never saw the scavenger. Oh, so you probably didn't go to the park that day they had the scavenger hunt. I did, and it was fun. We had to go run around. I wish I had I didn't even have the YouTube channel back then. I wish I did. I could have been videotaping that thing. That would have been cool to see. I mean, we were all running around like crackheads trying to find everything out. So anyway, so the breaking news that I can share, they haven't officially announced it. It's not on anything, but we all know Panda Express is no more. What I can officially announce is that Chopsticks is coming. Now, the whole thing was, I said, oh, is it on a dining plan? She didn't know yet. She was looking it up, and she didn't... the information she had didn't show it yet, because they're still going through the stuff, getting the park ready, you know, for all the dining plan stuff and all that. She didn't have any pamphlets for the dining plan and all that ready to go yet. She says, I'll get back to you. She goes, she didn't want to say yes and it was no. She didn't want to say no and it was yes. And she didn't want people to get confused or pissed off. So she just said, I believe so. It should be. But I'll get back to you just to make sure. So I didn't get the information back from her yet. So yeah, that was that. So officially, we can officially talk about it. Chopsticks is coming. And they're changing the menu different than, I guess, other chopsticks. Which I don't know because I've never eaten at a chopstick. So I know it's Chinese food. So I don't know how much different it's going to be. The next food item was the Thrill Shakes. Are they returning? Yes. She doesn't know about the flavors of, you know, a lot of people still keep asking her about the ones from that Nor'easter 2 years ago. And then it I don't know if it's, she said that she didn't know if they were going to come back or not. They don't know what they're doing with it. But she says the Thrill Shakes, yes, coming back. And she goes, you get them all the time. She knew right off. She knew that she's been watching all the videos. She don't say nothing, but she watches all the videos and posts and stuff. And she was saying that she said, "Oh, you make good videos," and so she's seen probably almost all the videos, I guess. So she always sees me eating the Thrill Shakes all the time when I make the vlogs or if I'm making a food review or something. So yeah, needless to say, she knows that I basically, when you can get a Thrill Shake, I get them like every time I go. I'll pay the $7 or whatever it is versus the $15, and I will get me a Thrill Shake all the time. So I'm trying to convince her, and we need to come up with ways to convince her to add new flavors. She said her favorite was the birthday cake. Now, so Thrill Shakes are returning, yes. At the second, no new flavors yet, but we all got to figure a way to convince the park to get some new flavors. Like, they can keep the... I got an idea. I want to tell her, and they can do it like Dairy Queen does. Every month, get a new flavor. Like, you have your core flavors, and then instead of, like, trying to put... It's a way to test out new ones. Be like, this month's flavor is blah, 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 blah. I like that. That's another question. An idea. I'm putting that down, and I'm sending that to Jen. Thrill Shake. Once a month. New flavor. See, it helps us... Oh, characters to ride. Yep, I like that. Themed Thrill Shakes. Yeah. Collectible character cups. Oh, like popcorn bucket. Yep. See, I like these brainstorming sessions. See, yeah, they could have a suggestion box in the store, but basically I am the suggestion box. My information's going to get to the park quicker than that suggestion box is, and we all know this. Yeah, but they don't put that out in the surveys because these are like minuscule, weird things that we're asking that people don't think about. I go right, I cut out the middleman, I cut out the survey, I go right to the source. Think about it. By doing this Grove show and posting stuff at SFNEOnline, we are able to do that. We're able to cut the crap, cut out the middleman of surveys and suggestion boxes. Yeah, exactly. And I don't really trust those surveys because that's how you get clones and stuff like that. That's how you get repeat rides, because I said that to her right to her face. I said this to her face during the meeting. There was a couple things that I said to her in the meeting that probably should have been taken the wrong way, but wasn't, thankfully. That could have been taken the wrong way. Think about this. We were talking about CYBORG, and I said, she didn't confirm or deny that, kryptonite was staying or leaving or anything like that. But I said, I said it right to her face. You got to get rid of the clone, the doubles. I said, I know that Kryptonite and Cyborg are different, and I told her all the feedback they got from Cyborg and the good and the bad. I tell her it all because I don't want her to think like everything's all gravy and it's going to be a hit, and I don't want to think it's going to be all bad and it's going to be a flop. I want her to know the truth, both sides of the fence. So I said, I said to her, I said, look, I'm not a huge fan of Kryptonite. I said, I can't always fill the seat and everybody wants to ride. I said, it's an old ride. I said, I miss the old days when it was in the building. I said, it's outside. It's in a spot that doesn't even belong, and it's too big for its spot. I said, and then, in the same area, you got Cyborg. I said, I love the idea of Cyborg. I said, people are worried that it's going to be slow like The Great Escape. And, but I also tell people that even if it is slow, just as slow as The Great Escape, it's going to seem faster because it's indoors with lighting and strobes and music and, and effects and whatever that they've told us that they got. I don't know what we're getting. She couldn't tell me. But here's the weird thing about Cyborg that I did find out, and I don't know how this is going to work. Because they're revamping the gift shop to still be a gift shop, but they're also going to have a queue, but it's not going to be inside. So they must be, I said, are you expanding the building to do the queue like you did before? And she said no, but she couldn't really tell me anything because stuff wasn't approved by Warner Brothers. So she was trying to be like, no, can't talk about it, no. So I was trying to get a, so what I'm thinking is the doorway that you would get into normally for Justice League is going to be the entrance, and I think there's going to be an outdoor queue line somehow over there to do it, and they're revamping the gift shop to still sell Cyborg merch and stuff. I don't know what's going to happen, what's going on. I don't know. I don't know about new bathrooms in DC. Probably not. Was there supposed to be? I didn't ask about that. I'm always sending Jen new ideas for rides all the time. Water park, flat rides, coasters. I'm always, and it's not like I'm just going, oh, we need a launch coaster, or we need this kind of, oh, get a new flat. I literally go to the manufacturer's website, find the rides that I think would do good in the park, and then send the link to Jen or whoever to them and say, check these rides out. Go check these out. I think they would do good in the park. I'm trying to send them rides that a lot of the Six Flags don't have because I'm tired of the clones. So I don't know, because she gets it. She gets it all the time about, she gets emails and stuff all the time about the clones and all that. She knows, And the funny thing is, I don't know how many of you saw the video about our Coast Enthusiast and Ruin the Hobby. I told her the video was coming out this week. I said, I don't expect you to comment, and she kind of didn't, and I ain't gonna talk on what she said, but she started laughing. I said, it's an unpopular opinion, and I said, I'm either gonna lose fans or gain fans. I said, but I don't care. I said, and she was asking me what I meant by that, and I was telling her different situations that I've been in, like from when I ran as ace president. I said, stuff that I'm seeing now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that people would do other things. But let's finish this up before I get into that. So there's still a few more items. You wish Six Flags Magic Mountain was this involved with the... See, here's the thing. And that's why Jen appreciates what SFNE... There was bumps in the roads, trust me. There was a lot of bumps in the roads, and we got called out by Six Flags New England in the past a lot. And I decided to step up and go, look, we need to build this relationship better. And that's what I've done with the... Put it this way. When I went into the office, they were in the middle of a meeting. Like Pete Carmichael, Jennifer Mance, their whole, like... the managers and stuff like that. they just dead stopped, turned around and looked at me. And then Pete Carmichael got off his chair, came over, welcomed me to the office, shook my hand and said, thank you for coming. And Jen Mance turned around and was like, hi, Ja. You know what I mean? Like, I've worked on building a relationship with the park. I tell the park my honest opinion. Jen has said it in front of Luco and my kids. They love me because of how I am. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't lie. I don't kiss their ass. I tell them everything good they do, everything bad they do. And if I tell them something bad, I come with an approach that gives a way to fix it. I'm not going, oh, F you, you suck. Because that's what a lot of the coaster enthusiasts do. They go and they go, this park sucks. And they don't say why it sucks, and they don't say how to fix it. Any problem that anybody I've seen that had a problem, I go to the park and I say, look, here's the problem. This is how I think you can fix it. You can tell me to go to hell. It's not my money. It's not my park. But this is what I think could fix it. Sometimes it happens. There's been a lot of things in the park that happen because I've said something. People don't know how to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, I get it, we're all passionate, and when we go and we talk to people, when we all talk amongst each other, we're all passionate. We're all here for one reason. We love theme parks, we love Six Flags, we love Disney, we love Universal, we love whatever. We love roller coasters, we love rides, right? I've taken that and I try to give my advice. That's why I made that video, Our Enthusiasts Ruining the Hobby, because I feel they are. They're trash talking the parks, not giving advice. They have no respect. And then they try to be like, my opinion is the old God mighty opinion, and everybody else can eat crap. That's what they, and I'm trying to bring awareness to that, saying, no, you're an idiot and you deserve to be slapped. And that's why coaster clubs are going to become extinct if people don't change their attitudes. That's what it's all about. I don't call anybody out in the video because I'm tired of getting emails and getting reprimanded about stuff and whatever. So I just call it how I see it, and that's how it is. But I built a relationship up with Six Flags. If somebody out in Six Flags Magic Mountain area over there did what I did, anybody in that area would have that kind of access. That's why all the parks I work with, all the haunted houses I work with, I do the same thing with everybody. I have the same respect. I am going to a haunted house on Saturday to go film a music video for a song I made, a rap song I made. Has no bad words. It's kind of like violent, like a horror movie. I got a script for it that, matter of fact, Shane Joseph wrote, and I think it's brilliant. Instead of it being like a 4-minute song, it's going to be like a 10, 15-minute video, like a little mini movie. But it was all made possible because of the relationships I build. They were like, the haunt don't open until whatever. They're getting ready to start doing their builds for the year. And they're like, yeah, come on in and do it. All the actors are pumped, and they're like, yeah, let's do this. They already heard the song, like the rough draft. I have to go and like re-record it and do some stuff. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, and that's why that's why anybody that has a fan site, if you do it right and you make the right connections and you say the right things and do the right things, you can be. I mean, I'm no TPR, I'm no Coaster Kids, I'm none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. I'm crappy at doing that, getting subscribers for some reason. People don't want to. Maybe it's me. Maybe people don't like me. I don't know. Whatever it is. But we're building. Slow, but we're getting there. But anyway, yeah, people think they're above the rules, and that's why I made the video. I've had comments directed to me in private messages about being pissed about that video. It's got a few dislikes on it. But it is what it is. So there's still a couple more topics that we talked about. And then I got like a little story that I'm not going to get into total logistics about the hot-to-hot moment. That's a private moment we had, but it's a little relevant, and I think that's part of another stepping stone. But regardless, I asked, is there going to be any more challenges like the coffin challenge? And what they said is, yes, the coffin challenge is returning, but it's going to be harder, but they she didn't give me all the details because they don't want that out yet. I know a little bit, and I can't talk about the stuff that she told me. I'm forbidden to talk about it. I mean, there wasn't like a lot of information, you know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't like a ton like of like mind-blowing breaking news of like what they're gonna do to make it harder. None of that, because she's like, oh, did you sign up for it? I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, didn't win. I said I wanted to do like live streams to help pimp it out and stuff, and it's gonna be cool. I asked, will there be any new haunts for Fright Fest? She said she didn't know yet. She goes, we won't know until we open the park. You know, for when the park opens, they won't know if they're going to open a new haunt or not yet. So that, you know, they have people talking about things, you know. So I do like warm hugs, Kyle. I do. Kyle, you can give me a warm hug. I will accept warm hugs from anybody. I like warm hugs. But yeah, so she didn't tell me that. I mean, a lot of this is corporate answers, and I know Sarah, you were one of them when I was telling you about it. That, and a lot of people don't like that. They want in today's world, and I'm not calling you out to make you look stupid or nothing, or say something bad about it. That's not what I'm trying to do. The point I'm trying to make is, in today's society, we want the answers yesterday, and we're not getting them when we want them, and there's a reason for that. And even I was talking to Jen about this, and I totally get it. I mean, she gets a kick out of all the information that we find out about, all the leaks about the rides coming and stuff. Sometimes we know about the ride before they know about the ride. Like, certain people in Six Flags New England know about a ride, but like Jen doesn't get it till like near the end from when when they tell her. But sometimes I know before she knows what ride's coming. It happens like that. But I explained to her, and I get it, and a lot of people don't understand this from a business standpoint. Six Flags is a corporate company. So anything that, all right, say she said to me something secret, said, Josh, shut your mouth, don't say this. And I said, screw it, I'm going to say it anyway. Now that information gets out, and some big shareholder hears about this. Like, oh, this guy over here on the Growth Show, this SFNEOnline, they're getting inside information about this crazy thing. Now, they hear about that. That could tank their stock, depending on whether they like that or not. Jen could get fired. So a lot of times we hear things, and it's what I call the corporate answer. You could go to, say, Lake Compounds, even though they're a little corporate, but they're not a huge player in the game like a Six Flags, Disney, Cedar Point. You know what I mean? Like, they're minuscule on the totem pole. You know, between all these other theme parks. You know what I'm saying? And I know you get it now, Sarah, but I want everybody out there to get it. Because a lot of people still like, why aren't they telling us anything? Why aren't they telling us anything? This is the whole reason why. It all has to do with it's corporate. There's a lot of money involved in everything. And if they go and they tell something they're not supposed to, I mean, we all like secrets. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I like it to be like Christmas morning. I didn't know what I got. I got it. I'm excited. I miss those days. I really do. But people, you know, I get messages, emails, whatever. Here's something new. And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. I should have never opened it. But I did. Because there's always that curiosity inside me. You know, and it's tough to keep, you know, it's tough to keep information away from people. It was like that whole Wicked Cyclone debacle I've told 100 times, that, you know, with Kyle and all that. And when I knew about it, and I was sworn to secrecy not to say a word. People knew I knew when I would not say it. People knew I knew, and I was just like avoiding everything at any time that I could, because I didn't want to get caught up in trouble, because I thought I was getting kicked out of Six Flags. So I wasn't, but I thought I was really gonna. That would have killed me. That would have crushed me. You know? So, let me see. Is there any other questions that we had answered? I mean, there's a whole bunch of, I mean, the other stuff, those are all the questions that we asked, we talked about, got answered, didn't answer. And we can always add more questions in email. She says she'd be more than willing to take another batch of questions and answer things. You know, and we talked about like things that I wanted to cover and do and stuff like that. And she told me some stuff she'd like to see us, you know, like us, things that she personally wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and Kyle, I don't know if you remember this, when they had Wicked Cyclone Media Day, and I was the first person to put up a reverse POV that day. I had it up before. I had it up at 6, 7 o'clock, and it was like 7 something in the morning, because I had brought my hotspot, you know, used my phone as a hotspot, uploaded. I just took the file, put it on my computer, didn't edit it, nothing, and put it up on YouTube, and then I worried about fixing it up later. And I don't know if you remember this, Kyle, for the media day, there were other fan sites that were way bigger than us complaining that they were in the parking lot and someone like us that was a lot smaller was on the ride, already uploading videos, and they had to wait. They were so pissed. They were pissed. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Like, I go and I do it. You know what I should be aggressive about is getting more people to subscribe to this channel. We're almost to 1,000. I just want to get to 1,000. I'll be happy. I'll retire and give it to somebody. No, I'm kidding. I ain't gonna retire. But I just want to get to 1,000. Make us get to 1,000 people. Tell a friend. Tell a tree. But the thing is, look, I do all this. I make no money on it. I have fun. I love sitting here talking with people that aren't jerks and aren't, you know, idiots. Everybody knows when I'm walking around the park, I'm very approachable. I will hang with anybody. I don't care if you're disabled, not disabled. I don't care if you're gay, you're straight. I don't care if you're black, white, red, purple, blue, green. I don't care if you're a male or a female. As long as you are cool with me, you can hang out. That's it. You don't need to tell me that your Lord and Savior is this certain roller coaster and your top 10 is the almighty word of the Bible, because it's not. We just like to have fun. That's it. That's all this is about. That's why I do this. It's all about fun. That's it. And I'm glad that people stick around and watch and enjoy it and have fun. That's what it's all about. And that's why we are able to do these things at Six Flags or lake compounds or other haunted houses or, you know, other parks, because I try to uphold myself to a standard that a lot of fan sites do not do, which I would say is most of them. The problem is, most of them is, they keep barking at the parks going, I want this, I want this, I want this, I'm going to do this. And a lot of people just do certain things that break the rules and don't care. They're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of sites do some crazy stuff without even getting permission from the park, and then the park gets pissed. And then that's why they don't get this, they don't get the access that I can get versus other people. Like, I don't know how, I know I played the song online last year. We talked about this at the meeting. Midnight Mansion. I made the song about the haunt, Midnight Mansion at Six Flags New England. I tried to get it filmed last year. Didn't work. Because there was a misunderstanding. And Jen and I cleared up that misunderstanding on Monday. So that's going to happen. Because when I talked to Pete Carmichael during Fright Fest, he's like, we got to get this done. I love this song. And then I told her the miscommunication, what they didn't understand was they thought that I wanted to do it while the haunt was open. I said, no. I said, you could throw a couple people in here dressed up, or I can throw a couple people. It's just going through the haunt by how the song goes and record it like a movie, like a music video. And they're like, oh, okay. Because they don't want to have like everybody walking through sign a waiver because people can get pissed or sue because they were on video or whatever. So no, I said, let us go in here like noontime. I said, we'll be way done before that even opens. They're like, oh, all right, cool. I said, all I want is Maya Slayer and Mort to be in the video. I said, I need to have them in there some way, somehow. That I wanted. I mean, all I got to do is just like a couple take, like, because they're just like in the chorus. That's it. I can just take one take and then re-put that in the chorus every time. Doesn't have to be like through the whole video. So it's not anything. Now, I can say there are some cool things that are going to happen with myself in the park that I've been sworn to secrecy. It has nothing to do about rides, just certain things that I've been sworn to secrecy. It's kind of like a tease, but when you guys find out, your mind your head's going to explode in what we call, it's going to peel your wig back, which means pull the top of your head off. It's going to blow out the back of your head, and it's going to shoot across the room onto the wall. Because I didn't present this. They presented it to me, and I can't. That's all I can say. But let me tell you, when you guys find out about it and what's going on about it, mind blown. Mine is blown. It's crazy. All right, so remember, the video's coming out, and you'll see it on Facebook and Twitter about the food thing, like in depth. So leave different food type things you want, different kinds of foods that the park doesn't have that you want to see in the park. You know, any questions that you have for the park, send them off to me. We'll make sure that we get them to the park. I want to compile a huge list again and do that. So maybe after this, I'll go on the forum. I'm going to do it on the forums because I want you guys that don't belong to the forums to join the forums, because there's a lot of stuff that I post on YouTube that I put there and not on Facebook or Twitter. And then there's stuff that we just talk about that is secret that where we cannot post on social media. So you guys that don't belong to the forums are missing out on some cool stuff. Just saying. But you have to sign up, and then I have to like go in and approve it. So if you've done it and haven't been approved yet, let me know some way, somehow, if you haven't been approved. And then I just go approve it, because there's a lot of people from like India and whoever trying to sign up so they can hack the site. So I got to like, it tells, there's like all this stuff about the IP and this and that and the other, and I'm trying to deal with that. Now, before I get into other like Hauntapalooza and the other thing, during that meeting, we talked about the wedding. Obviously, we have the date set, but we can't book anything until, you know, like November, December, January kind of thing, like, because they're not a wedding venue, and can you do a forum digest email daily or weekly for people who don't have time to go there all the time? I could. I mean, I could do like a newsletter, or I don't have like a newsletter email kind of thing. I mean, I could do that. I don't know how to do that. Maybe you do. I don't know. I'm not that tech savvy about it. I remember back in the days when I used to be like heavily doing my Dr. Giggles thing. I used to make a newsletter. First it was monthly. I tried doing weeklies, but it just wasn't enough. So I would just stick to monthlies. But like once the park's open, there's just so much information that comes out. You could do dailies at this point, you know. But the wedding thing we talked, so Jessica and I have no idea. I'll have to show you, Luco, and then you can show me. I don't know. But yeah, the thing about the wedding, Jessica and I have to make the almighty wish list, and then we find out what we can't do, how much things cost, go from there. Should be interesting, I should say. Now, the weird thing is, I'm not going to get into the story because it was a private moment. So I'm not going to... It was an awesome time that I actually seen Jen open up that I've never seen her open up before. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get into all the details because that was private. I don't know if she wants that out there in the world. I don't know. But regardless, I'm not going to do it. It was a cool story. I almost made her cry, not like an intentionally thing, just from something we were talking about. And it was one of those moments that you could tell was heartfelt, and she knew, like, it was like that. It went from like a business, like SFNEOnline, SFNE thing, to like a friendship, not nothing sexual, nothing like that. I'm saying like legit friends. Like this was not just a business thing. Like it was an opening up, like, hey, this is cool. Like we can talk, and it's not, you know what I mean? Like we talk private stuff. That was crazy stories between the two. You know, we were talking about wedding stuff, and, you know, how I met Jess and all this other stuff and da-da-da-da-da. And it was an opening. It was something that I've never seen from her, and maybe something she's never seen from me. I don't know. But it was like the coolest thing. Like, I realized what was happening. Usually when you're in that kind of working relationship like that, usually nothing like that ever happens. It's work, 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 work. And it was like, for that moment, we put our guards down, both of us, and it was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was great. So Jen is really an awesome... The more I talk to her and get to know her, the more that I think she is so awesome. She is definitely a true asset to that park. She really is. So Sarah's saying we should do a tutorial on how to use the navigation to the forums, how to use the search bottom, how to follow certain topics or view only the newest posts. Well, if you or Kyle want to record that video and then get the video to me, you guys can do, like I said, I always say this about everybody. About, you know, like with SFNEOnline. Yes, I'm the one that's, I mean, even Shane Joseph that's been in here tonight, he wrote the article about the food places. And he's been writing the scripts. Like, he wrote the script for the haunted house we're going to this weekend. There's a skit that I'm going to work on. And I'm trying to bring more people involved in it. And I'm trying to dictate more stuff out. Because there's so much crazy stuff that goes on. I can't do it all myself. So, and Kyle offered up helping to write articles and stuff. By all means, write some stuff. If Sarah wants to write, anybody can. As long as it fits the narrative of what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the article is, and you do a great job, and it's good, we can. I don't care who you are. It's not about, I don't want SFNEOnline to be all about me. That's not what this is about. I say this a million times. SFNEOnline was created by fans for fans, and that's how I want it to continue that way. It's just because I'm just so like in this robot. I gotta make videos, I gotta make posts, I gotta hit the forums, I gotta do Facebook, I gotta do Twitter, I gotta try and do it. Like, I'm just like all over the place. So that's why I decided, and I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, but Haunapalooza, I may kill all that social media for it. Kill the YouTube page and just make it all SF. Because it is an SFNEOnline thing. I was just really worried about, well, because it's horror related and YouTube. And you know, so I'm going to wait till June, the end of June. If by the end of June it doesn't start taking off, then everything is just going to stop with all that. And Haunapalooza podcast will just be on this channel. But I'll still use all the logos so you know it's a Haunapalooza thing, or you know it's an SFNEOnline thing. You know, it was like when the Grove Show had a YouTube and SFNEOnline had a YouTube, and then we killed the SFNEOnline YouTube because the Grove Show YouTube was more popular and had more views and more stuff. So now it's the Grove Show's YouTube is now the SFNEOnline's YouTube, and I try to do the Haunapalooza thing, and there's just way too much going on, and I'm just trying to make everything go. I'm one person. I need clones. I would need like 100 clones. I wish I had 100 clones. I really do. But trying to run all this, it's honestly too much. I'll be honest. So I'm going to give it to the end of June. If it don't do what I feel like it should be at, then we'll just bring it on by. So what I think I'm going to do is, even though after all this advertising and everything, I think that the Fairtown movie is going to release on SFNEOnline's YouTube. I don't think anything bad is going to happen. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys the movie poster in real life besides like on a screen. So here we go. Ready? Are you ready? Can you handle it? Here it is. No. This is how big it is. You can tell by who it is, you know, me. But that's what I've been posting everywhere. April 13th, 2019, Fairtown Extremes, the movie, is going to release. Now, it says on the bottom here, exclusively on the Haunapalooza podcast YouTube channel. I think I'm just going to put it on SFNEOnline. Because what if that video pops, but it still doesn't get the subscribers, and then I got a video that pops, and then I want to delete it and put it on SFNEOnline. So, I I mean, it's more and more likely that it's just going to conform into one, and well, the problem is we have a core group working on the Hornapalooza stuff. Well, it's really me, but we have myself, we have Luco, we have Jessica, because this whole Hornapalooza thing is all Jessica's idea. Well, the name and the idea of what Hornapalooza was all Jessica's brainchild. I just took that and was like, let's make a YouTube channel and let's make it do haunt reviews and things about haunted houses and horror related with music, and everyone's like, yeah. But I'm the one that I'm the voice of it. I didn't want me to be the voice, like the sole voice of it. And I know it's tough. Everybody's doing things. Who's gonna, I got my kid this weekend. I can't do it this. I gotta do it that week. Oh, who's getting married? So now I gotta. And I'm not. That's. I just do. That's how I run my business on the fly. That's how. And it seems so far, knock on wood, doing the right way. But the way it. Hi, Brenda, and I'm glad that someone new is watching. Welcome to the Grove Show. Hey, Loco, I'm talking very lightly. Can you hear me? Oh, wait, I should drink a soda and do this new fad that everybody's doing on YouTube. Oh, isn't that delicious? That's so stupid. We're making a joke. I think Jessica or Alyssa saw this, what do they call ASMR videos, where they whisper and then they eat into the microphone, or they listen to dogs chew or something. I was like, oh, I should do a whole Grow show like that and just see what people think. I couldn't do a whole Grow show going, and today on Six Flags New England, we went into the park and we played in the leaves. Like, I don't think anybody would want to listen to that. I mean, it sounds kind of soothing, and maybe it might put everybody to sleep. I rode Superman 5 times. The airtime made me pee my pants. But I don't know if that would work. I really don't. You guys could tell me if that was creepy or not. I think it's creepy, but that's just me. But basically, for anything to work, like if I really want SFNEOnline to take off, and if I want Hornapalooza to take off, it can't be just me. Luco is my camera guy. Luco is like the best person I know that can hold a camera right and actually get the shots. Way better than I ever could. I suck at this. And no, I did not tour the park. I was across the street at the office. But end of April, early May, I am going to get a special behind-the-scenes CYBORG tour. So, yep. Luco, I am your father. Not really, but I just wanted to try it out like this. So we are going to get the exclusive look behind CYBORG and that, you know what I mean? So Ryan Hackman says, after El Diablo is gone forever, great adventure, what new coaster could they put there, and what RMC type coaster, not ground up, you want? Honestly, I would rather them have a ground up. But there's only 2 other types. There's only like 3 types of coasters they have. 4 types. Well, we know that, like, what do you call it? The Joker is technically not RMC. It's their track, but it's an SNS. Now, they have their wood coasters with the top of track. They have their Raptors, and they have the steel I-beams, like a Wicked Cyclone, like that. I would rather them get something like a Wicked Cyclone, to be truthfully honest. Like, I think the Raptors are, like, cool looking, but they can do more with a ride like, like a Wicked Cyclone, a Texas Giant, a Iron Rattler type of ride. If they put that kind of hybrid coaster in there from the ground up, that would be the best. I get it. You want this. I could tell you're a huge fan, really wanting a Raptor, and by all means, that's fine. If you want that, praise the hallelujah. I just get out of our conversations. That's what you really want, and that's what you want people to stare to say, Raptor, 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 Raptor. It very well could be that could be coming. That could be the thing. I don't know. I have no information. I might be able to try to get something to slip out because I know the park manager and I know one of the marketing managers there. I doubt they're going to tell me, but I could probably get something slipped out over there. Maybe. I don't know. I need to email him. I haven't talked to him in a while. With Six Flags Darien Lake would bring DC Comics and Looney Tunes IP. So I don't know. Because I know that The Great Escape, I don't know if that's been fixed or not, but I think that they can't have them for some reason. But I think they bought all the shares so that they... Because I remember for a time, Six Flags didn't totally own The Great Escape. They only owned a portion of it. I think they finally bought that out. But I don't think that they're going to do that there because it's the demograph. Darien Lake could be the same thing, but I think that they're going to get that. What park are you talking about? Am I talking about like with the RMC coasters? That would Ryan Hackman's talking about Great Adventure. That's what I was talking about. What I'm talking about with the Great Escape for a while that they couldn't do the IP thing because of who else owned it. And I think some years back, 3, 4 years, 5 years, I forgot how many years ago, that Six Flags bought out the rest of the rights to Great Escape, and now they own it. But where Great Escape is up in New York, at Lake George, I don't think they're ever going to do that. That park, when they brought back like the whole fairy tale thing, like redid it up and all that, and opened things up, it was a hit. That's a family park. I don't think adding... For them, I don't think it's worth the money to add. Darien Lake could be, used to have it. Maybe it's coming back. I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to do that. Yeah, see, I heard that they were going to do a throwback to Rolling Thunder. Now, could they do that like with a hybrid or a Raptor? They sure could. They definitely could be doing that with the... there was a rumor going around that they were getting a Raptor, right? That was the rumor going around like middle of the summer of last year. That was like this big thing, big talk. Then that rumor died. Like, it just died. And then came, hey, tribute, basically, hybrid coaster from the ground up for, like, Rolling Thunder, like Iron Thunder or Rolling, whatever. It was supposed to be like a throwback, kind of like a nod to Rolling Thunder. Just made by RMC. Now, I've heard both of them rumors die out. They were hot and heavy, like crazy. And then they both just died. I don't know if everything just went hush-hush. Maybe there's nothing to report. Because right now, all the parks are focusing on 2019. You know what I'm saying? So, it is very, very, very possible that the chatter is stopping because they're trying to focus all their marketing and everything right now on 2019. So they got the, they're getting the swing ride like Wonder Woman there. Yeah, Wonder Woman, right? Lasso of Truth. They're getting their ride, just like we got Harley Quinn. And then they're going to worry about... I never got to go to Gaslight Village. My cousin Keith told me about that years ago. My cousin told me about like how cool that place was. But I never got to experience the Gaslight Village. I did get to experience, what's the one that they changed? Magic Forest. I got to experience that. That place was creepy, cringy, weird, but cool. Had a very high cool factor on it. But now they're changing all the weird statues and stuff that I loved about it gone. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But... They need a high capacity coaster versus a Raptor is going to do not good things for Great Adventure needs rides. That's why it was like crazy when they added the Joker and then they had their El Diablo, the coaster, which is not a coaster but a flat ride, as I call it. It is what it is. But again, could they get a Raptor? Sure. It could be the biggest one. Could get more capacity. I don't know. I'm not all total fluent of Great Adventure because everybody knows, like the people that know me, I'm not a huge fan of these giant parks, like Cedar Point and Great Adventure. I like quality over quantity. Like I said, even when Great Adventure was big and back in the day when I was younger, that park was a 2-day park. Now it's not. I get bored and want to leave quick. Like, if I'm there, like, say if I go to Riding of the Bull, by 4 or 5 o'clock, I want to go home. Like, I've had enough of that place. I'm not saying it's a horrible park. It's just, it's not my favorite place. It's way too ridiculously big. And I can ride most of the rides quick. And they don't have, to me, they don't have a lot of my favorite coasters. Like, I like riding King of Car. I ride El Toro once or twice. I ride Nitro once or twice. I love riding Batman. I love riding Skull Mountain. Hell, I even like riding the Dark Knight once. You know, it's one of those. I know it's weird, and I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I think Nitro, El Toro, are well overhyped. El Toro and Nitro, they're good coasters, but I think they're not as great as people put them. They're getting old. They haven't really done a lot of work to El Toro. The restraints suck, in my opinion. I know Luco loves them, and I know a lot of other people are like, you're nuts. They're great. I love them. And they're like, I hate Superman's restraints. And these ones, but I get it. I hear about it all the time from everybody. Just in my opinion, you know, it's my opinion. I'm not saying my opinion is the holy grail of opinions. It's just how I feel. Like, everybody else feels differently about different parks, different rides, and that's fine. We can debate and talk and have respectful conversations all day long, and I'm okay with that. Now, Ryan says, why Superman might have new trains next year instead of a new coaster. The reason why I think that is for a few reasons. One, Superman trains, they're holding on by a shoestring. I don't mean like they're in danger of falling apart. I'm just saying that if something else breaks on these current trains, they're going to be down again. They went down for 3/4 of the season having one train. Coaster was closed for a while as they had to order parts. They no longer make those trains. They no longer make parts for those trains. They're not in stock. You have to have them like made like on demand. They're not just storing them and having them. That's why Superman was down to one train for most of the year, and then why it was closed some of the time. So they have a new train that will fit that track. That's for that thing that they come out with a new train, different restraint system. It's not an over the shoulder, but the bar comes down. It's a lap bar and it comes down like this. I heard it's comfortable like Mac. Who else? Somebody else has a similar thing and it's comfortable and it's a lap bar. It's not an over the shoulder. Because that arm comes off to the side like that and it comes down. I heard it's more fat people friendly. So you'll still get your airtime out of it. It'll probably be a smoother ride. That's why I think they're going to have to. I know it's a 20-year-old coaster, right? Well, next year. And it's the most popular attraction in the park. It's a beloved coaster. I mean, it keeps falling down on the list for a number of reasons. But I think if they put these new trains in, I think it might not. It might not even creep back up. But for them to keep that ride going, they need to put the investment in. I know it's like $2-3 million for the trains, but I think they're going to get that in another ride. It's the 150th anniversary of the... No, not like Maverick. There is nothing on you, nothing covering your chest at all. Nothing. It's literally like a thin... hang on. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to download a picture of it and then pop it up on the screen. And just to give you an idea, because they have it, they have this train. I gotta find. Where is this? No, this is not the one. Where is it? I've seen this train. You just got to give me a second here so I can figure out which... let me go to projects. I don't... Hang on. I got to figure out where this... Is it this one? Where was, and I may have showed this. But it's not like the King to Ka, Maverick, or Top Thrill trains. It's not like that at all. I can't find the train. I might be looking at them wrong. It might be in technology, maybe. If you do, if you do the, oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see if I can get this picture. It may not work. Let's see what it does. No. I can't get it up there, but if you look on Intamin and you look under new ride concept, Taron, that's pretty much what you could get for what do you call it? For a train. It's got that over the shoulder, like the lap bar comes over your head, but the arm is holding onto it off on the side. That's what I'm talking. I know there's other coasters that are like that, but it's supposed to be better, more fat friendly. Like, I mean, I can get on Superman, no problem. That's not an issue. But the whole better restraint system, and I think it'll be better. I just think that's what it's going to be, because like they're putting out coasters for this year, coasters for next year, and I don't think 2020, even with the 150th anniversary, is going to get a coaster. I'm telling you, they're going to get like a flat ride, new trains, and that's what they're going to get. That's what I think. I do not see a new coaster next year. They don't, realistically, they don't need another new coaster. Let's be honest. New England's got a huge collection. If they want, put in a launch, get rid of Goliath and get rid of Flashback. Do what I said in that area. There you go. There can be, you take out two, you get one back. And that's what I think. It's probably not what's going to happen, but that's what could happen. I've told Jen and I've told others at the park, that's what they should do. They like the idea. I just don't know. And I think they're going to wait to see how, like, what do you call it? The one going into Great America, the launch there. They're probably going to wait to see how popular that gets, see if there's any, like, huge issues, you know, maintenance issues, and if that works out, probably get one over there. We'll see. I don't know. When I was a little kid, my family was camping at Rollins Pond near Tupper Lake, New York. I have no idea where that is. I've never heard of that. Not that that's bad or good. I'm just saying I never heard of it. So, okay, so I talked about that. Did I talk about everything? I think I did. So, before we get out of here, and I think I'm going to go play some Planet Coaster for a little bit. I'm going to go upstairs, get a snack because I'm fat, and then get another drink, and then I'll come back down because I got to pee, and then I think I'm going to, like, go play some Planet Coaster. So if anybody wants to continue the conversation after this, we could do that. I'll play for like an hour or so. But in any case, before I go, make sure that you tell a friend about this show. Tell them about SFNEOnline. Tell them to come check it out. I'm really trying to like put an aggressive thing on it to get people to come. Again, don't forget about when the video drops about the food for Six Flags New England. Make sure that you comment on the video. Just throw out food. Be realistic. Oh, you went to Gaslight Village. Okay. Yeah, I missed that on Gaslight Village. I wish I did. I got to go. I got Magic Forest in, but I don't got Gaslight Village. Also, you know, make sure that you check out the Coaster Enthusiast Ruining the Hobby. I think it hits the nail on the head with a lot of people, a lot of sickening stuff that we see. I want to bring awareness to everybody. I want it to become a conversation. And the great thing is people have been commenting on it. I've gotten comments online about it. Like, well, like in private messages, call me an idiot, and I should delete the video, and that video is harmful. I think it's people that are like, you know the saying, if the shoe fits, wear it. Well, these are the people that are the ones that are probably, they figure I'm talking about them, even though I'm not. I don't call one person out, one coaster group out, no fan sites out. I don't call nothing out. I'm just talking in general. I don't say a person. I don't say a company. I don't say nothing. I just say, hey, people, and I even say in a video, if you see an enthusiast, what do you call it? If you see an enthusiast acting this way, slap him in the head. I tell, you know, I'm not saying, and anybody that's watching this go, what are you talking about? And they go watch the video. I'm not saying my opinion is the almighty and righteous. I'm just saying that it's okay to debate. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to have the conversation about it. We're all happy. You know what I mean? Like, we're all passionate. We all love it. That's the whole thing is. Don't let somebody tell you that their top 10 is the almighty and that's it. And if you don't agree, F off. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not me. You see somebody like that, slap them in the head. We need to... What I'm trying to say is, it's driving people away. If you watch other comments of people talking, people left coaster clubs. People are leaving the hobby. And parks are starting to go, we're doing our own events. Because they're sick of the crap. I mean, things get ruined by the select few. We get it. I get it. And I'm not trying to tell people what to say, what to do, how to feel, whatever. But it would be nice if you could, like, debate without somebody being a jerk, is what I'm saying. Or you could talk. I will gladly invite anybody on here and we can say, I think Superman's better than the broomstick. And you could be like, the broomstick's better than Superman because of, you know, you don't have to get crazy, but it can be fun and entertaining and awesome. That's what I want to do. And I just like to, you know, I wanted to kind of poke the bear. Hey, you're welcome, House of Shine. That's what I like to do. I like to poke the bear to see who gets angry. I'll be honest. Not that I want to deal with drama, but I wanted people to talk about it. I had seen The Great Escape, and before a while, and from Vermont skiing, did not understand where and what Gaslight Village was until walking around Lake Georgetown a few years ago. Yeah, I missed that. I wish I did. My cousin told me all about it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, so any videos that you see pop up on the channel, make sure you check them out, share them. I know I'm not a Coaster Kid or a Coaster Studios, and I'm not that popular, and people don't like to share things unless like they really, 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 really love it. But it helps us out if you just click the share button. I mean, you might not like it, but maybe one of your friends will. That's just how promotion works. A friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. But anyway, we'll be back next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, click the subscribe button. Leave us comments, and we will see you guys soon. Until next time, everybody, keep on coasting, y'all. Peace!